that said, it's probably as good a time as any to talk about the sexual politics that are sort of at play in Batman, in particular in Paul Dini's Batman. Because the thing about... Wait, there's a dude? What?
One of them.
I'm just picturing like a dude just hiding in one of those boxes. Like just waiting. Like hoping Batman shows up before he has to pee.
So the sexual stuff.
Paul, in inventing Harley Quinn and sort of once Dini added the origin story of her becoming obsessed with Joker after treating him, he created this sort of very sad, tragic character that's both very funny and very sweet, and also, but honestly, a constant victim of domestic violence.
Batman, we've got another problem.
I need to get back to the mansion. All my research notes are there. We can't risk Joker getting his hands on them.
It's not safe, Doctor. The island's a war zone. You won't stand a chance.
It's my life's work. You really don't have the authority to...
I'll get her there, Batman. You ask me, it's about time for a little payback.
I don't like it, but... Who called the elevator?
Wasn't us. It's coming from the lower floor.
Cash, take Dr. Young. Get her notes and then find somewhere safe to hold up. Everyone else, go to the observation room. Barricade yourselves in.
The boss says he's in here somewhere. Spread out.
So Batman sex stuff.
So Harley as a figure... Let me just keep reusing this room.
It's a good room.
So Harley as a victim of domestic violence is something that is sort of hard to grapple with because, I mean, it's a kid's show. It's a kid's show, and...
To be fair, kids' shows used to be a lot less for kids than they are now.
That's true. But I think the thing that's sort of hard is that, yeah, like, doing Joker for kids is very difficult post-Killing Joke. Because he is sort of canonly... evil and psychopathic and enjoys the suffering of others. And
glide kick makes people unconscious in this game if you knock them off ladders, apparently.
That's always fun.
Neat. Didn't know it did that.
I was gonna say, you should do a great takedown at some point. I love those.
I was trying to set one up earlier, but wasn't quite so lucky.
So the thing about Harley, and the reason that Harley and Poison Ivy became a thing, is that Ivy is very, very upset at the way that Joker treats Harley, and their dynamic is often she calls her Red, and it's pretty clear, like whether you view Harley as into Ivy or not, it's sort of canon that Ivy is into Harley, as it were. But the violence against women in Batman has always been sort of a very fraught topic, and the thing about Killing Joke and Barbara is that the reason that Barbara got shot and basically sexually assaulted is because Joker wanted to torture her father. And that's the only way that I could possibly justify that behavior from Joker, because I think that the whole point of Joker is being original. Joker is not your run-of-the-mill villain. He's way more obsessed with artistic integrity than you expect him to be. And
you're saying this Joker's a hipster.
Joker is a bit of a hipster.
We already did that once. We can't try and kill Batman that way twice.
Exactly. He's so over that. That's so last season. And violence against women in Batman, aside from, characters like Zaz, where the whole purpose is sort of to be lurid and creepy.
Hanging precariously over a deadly drop. What say I just blow the emergency brakes and drop you like a sack of puppies? Say good night, Bats. Boom! Only kidding. Got a few more surprises.
Remember when you said, Charlie, that he would do it?
That's what I'm saying, though. If it was a funny enough or a Joker enough scenario, like, I don't know, if he could kill him with the laughing gas, he would, or something like that. Like, exploding whoopee cushion. I don't know. I also think that Joker's... To put this game in context, he's so invested in his scheme at this point, to cut it short isn't him at the same time, if that makes any sense. Alright, so that brief introduction there is, for Scarecrow, my favorite of the DC characters. Mostly because there's so many different ways of doing him, and really some of them are terrible. I hate mentally, clinically insane Scarecrow, if that makes any sense, which seems to be a common one.
Well, mad scientists are one of the things that DC does really, really well.
I mean, that's why I don't like, and maybe that's why I find Scarecrow's character as just a mad scientist so boring. Like, or just as a crazy, crazy person, as you sometimes occasionally come
Well, no, and
across.
that's the thing is, like, mad scientists, I mean, Hugo Strange. I mean, there are a couple of very famous Arkham Asylum employees, and Jonathan Crane is really the most famous of all of them.
Well, because he goes as far as to become a reoccurring Batman villain.
Yeah, well, Hugo Strange as well, Harley.
Less than a reoccurring Batman villain, though, in Hugo Strange.
Jesus. Gordon's having one bad day.
One bad day after another.
To use Killing Joke parlance. But the thing about Jonathan Crane that makes him really interesting is that I think Marvel is always sort of funny and interesting and charming.
Except when it's not. They have some truly dark villains.
Yes, but I think I would always reiterate that the thing about Marvel that DC can't even touch is the sass factor.
Oh yeah, no, they have witty writing.
They have a lot of sass. But the thing about DC is that it's modern myth, so they do the Frankenstein narrative really, really well.
Can we talk about Batman's glowing eyes?
I'm sorry, Jim.
What?
Barbara.
This can't be real.
Give it a second.
Sorry. I was too late.
I'm sorry. The number you dialed isn't available. Please leave a message after the tone.
Barbara, are you there?
Please hang up your phone.
Okay, so for reference, Crane's big thing is his poison gas is made, or Scarecrow's juice is made from cockroaches. Hence the cockroaches.
Snips and snails and puppy dog tails, man.
That's what little boys are made out of.
Oh, Scarecrow. To me, this is when this game really starts to be cool and interesting.
Well, they nailed a very difficult character to nail appropriately. Because, okay, like I kept going back to, you can go the completely insane version of Scarecrow who's just not interesting, but this kind of intelligent, sinister, Joker-esque version of Scarecrow is wonderful in all the wrong ways. Like,
See, I don't think... Oh, I think it's right behind you. There was like a green thing.
was it?
I don't know. Thought... Oh, no. It was just that. Sorry, friends. Speaking of, though, this scene is genuinely scary.
Yeah.
And I know that we're not... I'm trying to keep it together, but I'm creeped the F out. Sound design, man.
Oh yeah.
I think the one thing that makes Crane a little bit not like Joker to me is that he's I mentioned Frankenstein. He's very Frankenstein. He is interested
There we go.
in dead bodies. That's not good.
Finish what you were saying, then we'll hit the dead bodies.
He's interested in trying to tackle something that he's terrified of. Oh, look, they're moving.
And for what? Yeah, so I'd say these dead bodies are moving an awful lot for dead bodies.
You should have stood up to him, son. Like a man.
What?
Mom?
Help us, Bruce. Don't let us die.
Duck. Duck. Goose! Or Scarecrow in this case, I suppose.
Blah.
Let's talk about Scarecrow's character design really quickly. I love this game's version of Scarecrow. It's just brilliantly done.
Well, it's definitely more... Oh, I love these weird psychedelic levels.
Okay, and there's actually more to it. So, these psychedelic levels, there was a bunch of Batman games, obviously, before this. Batman's a great character. And these levels are homages to the side-scrolling days of Batman, which were very much 2D platformers, essentially.
Poor little bat, you're in my world now.
I just love the Needle Gauntlet. It's such a brilliant idea for Crane. Sorry, I cut you off. You were saying?
Oh, no. The thing about Crane is that his whole deal is that he is honestly the most frightened person in the space at any time. The reason he's obsessed with fear is he's trying to master his own fear,
Yeah.
his own shortcomings. And that's what I really love about certain Batman villains is that I think their motivations are always like, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of really gimmicky Batman villains. Most of them have been lost to time, thank God.
The Hoopster is my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, some of them, it's really funny if anybody listening watches Arrow.
A couple of them have come back.
Yeah, a couple of them have come back, like Clock King. And if you look at the...
He got a surprisingly badass overhaul.
He did. And the huge penny that you see in the background of most of the... Wow, you bad at this, Scarecrow. Is from a penny-themed villain from the 1940s.
You know, like you do.
Like you do. And he was just literally... I forget how pennies ruined his life, but they totally did. I will have that for you guys next time.
I don't think so much that pennies ruined his life.
No, literally, because it becomes his, like, crime symbol.
Oh god, that's...
Yeah, no, it's
I'm sorry,
stupid.
Hoops. There is someone less lame than you in Stiltman.
Oh, totally.
Stiltman, my favorite Marvel lame villain. What's his power? Stilts.
Stilts.